Discuss the rules related to Ach Sandhi and Hal Sandhi. Today we are going to discuss the rules related to Visarga Sandhi. Yeah. So the first one is Sadesha Sandhi. So in this Sandhi, what happens is if a word ends with Visarga and if it is followed by a word that starts with a character that belongs to Khar, then Visarga will be replaced by Sa. So if we see the example, Balaha Tatra. Balaha Tatra. Balaha, the word ends with Visarga. And this word is being followed by a word which starts with a character that belongs to Khar. What is Khar? Khar is a Pratyahara. So here, Khar, Khapha Chatata Chatatau Kapai Sha Sha Sar. So these are the varnas belong to Khar Pratyahara. So Balaha ends with Visarga, and after that the word Tatra is there. So this Ta belongs to Khar or not, we have to check. Khapa Chatata Chatata. Takara is there, which is a Khar Pratyahara, which belongs to Khar Pratyahara. So the condition is satisfied. Then what happens? This Visarga changes to Sa. Balaha Tatra will become Balas Tatra. Ramaha Cha. Ramaha Cha. So Ramaha ends with Visarga, which is being followed by a word Chakara, which belongs to Khar Pratyahara. So Visarga changes to Sa. Ramas Cha. So in the previous class we have discussed Shchutva Sandhi. Shchutva Sandhi. So that is applicable here. So Sakara in the context of Cha changes to Sha. Ramascha will become Ramascha. Ramascha will become Ramascha. Krishnaha Chhatraha. Krishnaha Chhatraha. So here Krishna ends with Visarga followed by a word starts with Chakara, Chhatraha. So this Cha belongs to Khar Pratyahara. Condition is satisfied. So Visarga changes to Sa. Krishna Chhatraha, Krishna's Chhatraha. Here we have to apply Shutva Sandhi. If you apply Shutva, what happens? This Sa will be replaced by Sha. Krishna's Chhatraha. So this is the meaning of Sadesha. Sa means Sakara is the Adesha, is the substituent for Visarga. Hence the name of the Sandhi is Sadesha Sandhi.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Does this mean that there is a double Sandhi? You have two times a different Sandhi rule that applies?
Yes.
To make things easier.
Yeah. So this is the final form. After this, you cannot apply any Sandhi rule. I mean, any Sandhi rule is not at all applicable. This is the final form. Here, Krishna's Chhatraha, there is a possibility of Shchutva. Once you apply, you will get this final form. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
What's the meaning of Desha? Sadesha?
Sakara, Sa is the substituent for Visarga.
And Desha?
Adesha means the substituent.
Oh, Adesha. Okay.
Okay? Yeah. So there is an exception for Sadesha Sandhi. So here if you see, if a word ends with Visarga and it is followed by a word that starts with either Sh, Sh or S, then Visarga changes to Sa optionally. So Payaha Shitalam. according to the previous rule, if you see this rule, this sha, sha, sa belongs to kar. Then what happens? Visarga should change to sakara, right? But here it is saying that yes, visarga changes to sakara, but it's an optional operation. So if you see payaha shitalam, the word payaha ends with visarga, which is being followed by a word starts with shakara, shitala. What happens then? This visarga changes to sakara, payas shitalam. After that, in the context of sha, the sa will be replaced by sha according to the shchutva sandhi. So the form will be payashitalam. Since this entire rule is optional, if you don't apply, what happens? The visarga remains same. Payashitalam and payahashitalam, both are valid forms. Similarly, if you see the other example, Ramaha Shashtaha. Ramaha, word ends with visarga. It is being followed by a word starts with sha. So the condition is satisfied. Now what happens? This visarga changes to sa. Rama Shashtaha. So here, now we have to think whether any other rule is applicable or not. Yes, there is a possibility of Shtutva Sandhi. Shtutva Sandhi. So if you apply Shtutva, then the final form will be Rama Shashtaha. Rama Shashtaha. Rama is the sixth person. Okay. Rama Shashtaha. Since this entire Sandhi is optional, if you don't apply this Sandhi, then the form will be Ramaha Shashtaha. So two forms are valid only. So based on the usage, you can take any on either of these forms. Okay. That's up to the intention of the speaker. Krishnaha sevate. Krishnaha sevate. So Krishnaha ends with visarga, which is being followed by a word that starts with sakara, sevate. So this visarga will be replaced by sa. Then Krishna sevate is the form. So here you cannot apply any rule because there is no such possibility of other rules. Unlike in the case of Payas, Shitala and Rama Shashtaha, here you cannot apply any Shtutva or Shtutva. So Krishna sevate. If you don't apply this rule, since it is the optional one, you will get the form as Krishna sevate. So this is the exception of Sakaradesha Sandhi. And yeah, there is another exception. So if a word ends with visarga, visarga is there balaha, and it is followed by a word which starts with either k or k or p or p, then visarga changes to this is a sign, we represent as Jihvamuliya or Upadmaniya. I will explain what is that thing. So Balaha karoti. So the word Balaha ends with visarga, which is being followed by another word starts with ka, karoti. Then what happens is the visarga changes to Jivvamuliya. What is this Jivvamuliya? Balaha karoti will become Bala karoti. You have to pronounce like that, Bala karoti. So if visarga is being followed by ka, then visarga will be designated as Jivvamuliya. So that is being represented by this sign. Balaha karoti will become Bala karoti. That sound is there, na? That is called Jivvamuliya in the context of Kakara. Since this is optional, the forms remain same. Balah karoti. Jeshtha khanati will become Jeshtha khanati or Jeshtha khanati. So in the context, if visarga is being followed by either ka or kha, then the visarga will be designated as jivva muliya. The sound is ha, ha, like that you have to pronounce. You can find this thing in Shiksha Grandhas.
So
Phonetic
can you spell that?
Ha,
No, not that. Jivva mul. Can you?
Jivva. Okay. I will write that in the chat. Okay.
Can you please write it in Devanagari?
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. And if visarga is, if a word ends with visarga, which is being followed by another word that starts with either pa or pha, so what happens then? Visarga will be designated as upadhmaniya. Upadhmaniya. The sound is same. You know, harihi pati will become haripati. Haripati. That is called upadhmaniya. These are technical terms, okay? You can see.
What is that Upadmaniya?
Visarga is designated as upadhmaniya if the visarga is being followed by either pa or pha. Okay. So these are technical terms, you know, for that we have to understand the phonetics. So simply try to remember this thing, visarga followed by another word which starts with either pa or pha, then visarga is named as upadhmaniya. Okay.
Can you
How?
please write down? Can you please write down?
I have written in the chat box, you can see. Okay.
So that's Jivva Mulya, right?
Yeah, see, the sign is
Upadmaniya.
sign is just 1 minute. So two things are there. Visarga followed by either ka or kha, then visarga is designated as jivva muliya. We represent jivva muliya and upadmaniya by using this sign only. Okay.
Sir, one doubt here, sir.
Yes.
Shall I ask, sir?
Yes.
Sir, visarga is followed by ka. It is jigva mulyaha.
Yes.
If it is followed by pa, it is the visarga is designated as
Upadmaniya.
upadmaniya. Even otherwise, sir, ka and pa are called jigva mulyaha or upadmaniyaha. Is it?
Yes. No. In the context of, see, that's what I said. In the context of ka or kha, visarga is designated as jivva muliya. In the context of pa or pha, if visarga is there, it is being followed by either pa or pha, that visarga is designated as upadhmaniya. Okay.
Okay.
And why is there different names?
Based on the pronunciation, based on the place of articulation and pronunciation, we have different names.
So what's the difference in pronunciation?
This balah karoti will become balah karoti. Harihi pati will become haripati. Haripati. That you have to aspirate that thing. So some slight difference is there between these two things. So that's why we name it as upadmaniya and jivva muliya.
Okay.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
This is Haripati, Harihi Pati. Some people read it, pronounce it as Harifpati, Fa. That Fakara comes there. Is it true?
No. So there is no sound called Fa in Sanskrit, sir.
Okay.
So when you pronounce Fa, you have to the place of articulation is bilabials. You have to use both the lips, upper lip as well as lower lip.
Okay, why I asked you this question, while learning this Bhagavad Gita, slokas and all, when they specifically, they were telling that Hari Visarga, after if it comes Pa, it should be read as Fa, Harif Pati. That is the reason I am asking you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. Correct, understood. But the sound is Pa. It's not Fa. There is no sound called Fa in Sanskrit.
Okay.
In English, you can see Fa, but in Sanskrit, Pa, 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 Ba, Pa, Ma. So
Okay.
when you
should
pronounce, you have to use your upper lip as well as lower lip.
Harif Pati. How
Harif
can you
Pati.
pronounce Harif Pati?
Harif Pati. Harif Pati.
Okay, Harik. That is similar to the Bala Karoti. Bala Karoti.
Bala Karoti. Bala Karoti.
Okay. Ha just should come Kha. No?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So
Okay, and the chat does not have upa.
Upadmaniya.
It's not written there in the chat. Only Jihva Mulia.
I have written. You can see.
We can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
So Jihva Mulya is kind of root of the tongue, right?
Not root of the tongue, actually, the glottis, the velar, that throat,
The word meaning of Jihva Mulya phrase. It sounds like Jiva is the tongue and Mulya is what? Root?
You cannot translate that thing. So it's a technical term. So we will discuss those things later. Okay.
Okay. Sir, can you please expand this while uploading the PDF file in that, please, at the end of the class, you will be uploading the PDF file now, sir. At that point of time, you can kindly make it expand that, what you call the symbol in the word in the below, that you can kindly make a mention of.
Sure.
Write a note
I will.
there, it will be nice.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay. So this is also an exception for Sadesha Sandhi. I hope you can see now in the chat box, right? The Upadmaniya and Jihva Mulya I have already mentioned. Okay. Yeah. So now, so far we have seen the examples for Sadesha, and now there is another Sandhi, that is Rephadesha. Ra. Repha means Ra, which is the Adesha. So here it says that if a word ends with Visarga and it is preceded by a character that belongs to ich, and if it is followed by either a character belongs to ach or hush, then Visarga changes to Ra. So no need to panic, I will explain. Munihi. So the word Munihi ends with Visarga, which is being preceded by Ikara, right? Muni. Ma, u, nu, I. Visarga, right? Muni. So this Visarga is being preceded by a character that is Ikara, which belongs to ich. Sorry, there is a typo here. It should be ich. I should not. Yeah. So ich, if you form Pratyahara from Ikara to Chakara, that will become ich, right? So Ikara belongs to ich. So the condition is satisfied. And it is followed by either ach or hush. So Munihi iti is there, right? So this Ikara belongs to ach, right? Ikara belongs to ach. Then what happens? This Visarga changes to Ra. Munihi iti will become Muniriti. Muniriti. Bhanuhu ayam. So here the word Bhanuhu ends with Visarga, which is being preceded by a character U that belongs to ich. Then, and the other condition is if that Visarga is being followed by a character belongs to ach or hush. So here the word ayam starts with akara, belongs to ach. Then what happens? This Visarga changes to r. Bhanuhu ayam will become Bhanurayam. Dhenuhu gacchati. Dhenuhu gacchati. Dhenuhu. Visarga being preceded by ukara, which is being followed by a word gacchati starts with Dakara, which belongs to Ach or Hal. Sorry, Hush. I cannot see Dakara in Ach. So we have to see whether it belongs to Hush Pratyahara or not. Hayavarala Yamaganana Jabha Gadada Jabagadada. So here we can see Ga, which belongs to Hush Pratyahara. So condition is satisfied. Now what happens? This Visarga changes to R. Dhenuhu Gachati will become Dhenur Gachati. Etaihi Bhakshitam. Etaihi Bhakshitam. This I is there, followed by Visarga. So, and Visarga is being followed by the word Bhakshitam starts with Bha. This Bha belongs to Hush Pratyahara, right? Jabhai. So the condition is satisfied. Then Visarga changes to Ra. Then the final form will be Etair Bhakshitam.
What's the meaning
This is
of
one
ref?
Which one?
Meaning of ref. Ref.
Refa means R. Rakara or R. Okay. This is called Repa. R. This
Excuse,
thing is there, na? Higher, right?
excuse,
This one is called Repa. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
excuse me.
Or sometimes you can call it as Rakara also. Okay.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, please. No, no, just
Yes.
wanted to ask you this. It's all depending on this Maheshwara Sutras. So, do you expect us to learn this Maheshwara Sutras by heart, please?
Sir, it would be better if you by heart it,
Yeah.
but no need to worry.
I understand.
Yeah. So why we are teaching these things is because if you use those tools now, suddenly you will get those rules, and you don't have any idea how these rules are, what is the meaning of these rule and
Yeah.
etc. Right? So
Yeah.
whenever you see the rule, you may remember that okay, we have studied these things, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
based on your understanding, you can easily
relate.
relate and interpret those rules, and you can try to interpret those rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Excuse me, can I say one
Yeah.
thing? I think this rule basically means that any visarga except visarga after a has this
Yes. Yes.
rule. So you
Yes.
can make it very simple in that way also.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So here another condition is there. Okay. So again, if a word that ends with visarga and it is preceded by either a or a, which is being followed by either a character belongs to ach or hush, then visarga changes to ra. The extra information here is the first word which ends in visarga should belong to the category called indeclinable or avyaya. So here if you see punaha, which is an avyaya, indeclinable. This visarga is being preceded by akara. So the condition is satisfied. And which is being followed by a word atra starts with a that belongs to ach pratyahara, right? Then what happens? This visarga changes to ra. Punaha atra will become punaratra. Prataha gacchati. So prataha, which is a indeclinable, this visarga is being preceded by a and followed by the word gacchati starts with ga, which belongs to hush, right? Ga, you can see here. Then this visarga changes to repa, rakara. Then the final form will be pratar gacchati. So this is another condition. Yeah.
Which words are indeclinable?
So the concept of indeclinable or avyaya is this: the words, they don't have any gender, number, those are designated as indeclinables. Okay, so there are many words, those are designated as indeclinables. So with the help of our tools, you can easily find whether this is indeclinable or not with the help of morphological analyzer. Okay, clear?
Yes, thank you.
Maybe some examples if you have with the meaning, like punaha.
Punaha means again. Punaha atra. Again, here you are doing something like that. Prataha gacchati. Prataha means morning, which is an indeclinable. Prataha gacchati, goes in the morning. Okay,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
clear? Yeah.
Thank you.
Now,
One quick question, Dr. Pavan.
Yeah.
The declinables will also not have any case, any vibhakti endings to them. That's
Yeah.
correct?
uh,
Thank you.
yes, again, some cases, some exceptions are there. Some exceptions. That's why I am not going to generalize that thing. That's why I haven't said that thing. So yes, you can think about. Yeah, we can say like that, sir. No problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the two conditions of Rephadesha. Rephadesha. Yeah. This one and this one. Two conditions we have seen. And now, in some cases, the visarga will be eliminated. There is an elision of visarga. So we can see the thing. So the rule is this: if a word ends with visarga and it is preceded by a and it is followed by a character that belongs to ash pratyahara, then visarga will be elided. So for example, if we see balaha, balaha, visarga is there. The word balaha ends with visarga, which is being preceded by akara, right? So the condition is satisfied, and which is being followed by a word atra that commences with a. This belongs to ash pratyahara, right? A. Ash means I are to jabagadasha. So the condition is satisfied. Then in such cases, what happens? The visarga will be elided. So there is a, we have to eliminate that visarga. Then the final form will be bala atra. Vruddhaha yanti. Vruddhaha yanti. Vruddhaha. The word ends with visarga and which is being preceded by a, and it is being followed by a word starts with yakara. Yanti. Ya. This ya belongs to ash, right? Haya varat. Yakara is there. This belongs to ash pratyahara. The condition is satisfied. Then what happens? This visarga will be elided. Then the final
Yanti means yanti. Yachati.
goes. Okay.
Sir, excuse me. When you
Yeah.
read that one shloka or other, when you say that it's bala atra or vruddha yanti, when you make a padacheda, you have to break it as balaha atra and vruddhaha yanti. Is it right?
Yes. Yes.
When you make the padacheda, you have to break it like that only.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Vruddhaha yanti will become vruddha yanti.
Sir, one doubt. Does ash is combination of ach and hush?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you think only ach, a to cha, right? This is ach. If it is ash, you have to extend it, right? It's
Yes.
a combination of ach and Hush. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Pawan, just for
Yeah.
so perhaps it is a silly question, I don't know. But when once a sandhi is made, how is it that Bala and Atra are written separately instead of as one word?
So we can, this is a convention, right? So that's it. So,
And when two words are united, does it not result in one word, which is often called sandhi?
yeah, we can say there is no problem at all. But, you know, for the sake of understanding, nowadays we are following this convention actually. So that's why, no, Bala, Atra, Vridhayanti. There is a space between these two things. That's it.
So thank you.
Sir, in Bala, Atra, there won't be Savarna Dirgha Sandhi again?
No.
Okay.
That's a good question, but yes, there is no possibility of Samana Dirgha. Why there is no possibility of Samana Dirgha, and at this juncture, I am not going into those details. It requires minimum 2 hours to make you understand that concept, because it requires some Shastrik background. So,
okay, sir.
But doesn't it? I think if it would become one Balatra, then you could not recognize the case anymore, right?
no. Whenever you analyze this thing, Bala, Atra, then you can say that. Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry. What I mean is, if then you would still apply another sandhi like a and a, then it becomes also a. Then if you would apply this second sandhi, then the original grammatical form would not be recognizable. That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
But according to Panini, you know, you cannot apply that thing because of some other rules. Why he hasn't applied? As you said, because of the usages. He has seen these usages where you cannot combine those forms. They remain as it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there is another
question.
Yeah.
Then when to use that rule and when to not? How to decide?
Which one?
For Bala, Atra, after A we are getting A. So sometimes we use sandhi for that case also.
Yes.
So when to use and when not to use that?
Yes. In some cases, in the context of Visarga, even though after the elision of Visarga, even though there is a possibility of some other rule, you cannot apply that rule. For the time being, you keep this normal.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. So the other one is, another condition is there for the elision of Visarga. So if a word ends with Visarga and it is being preceded by a, and if it is followed by a character that belongs to each, then Visarga will be elided. So Krishnaha, Visarga is there. Krishna, the word ends with Visarga, which is being preceded by a, and Visarga is being followed by a word eti. This a that belongs to each pratyahara or not, we have to say. Even, ril, evo, io. So a belongs to each. So the condition is satisfied. Then what happens? Visarga will be elided. If Visarga is elided, the final form will be Krishna eti. So here, now you may say that there is a possibility of some sandhi. Okay. But we cannot apply that sandhi. So the form will remain Krishna eti.
Sir, will it not become Krishneti?
No. That's what we have discussed now. Here also, Bala, Atra, there is a possibility of Savana Dirgha, but we cannot apply that thing, right? Similarly, here also, there is a possibility of Vriddhi Sandhi, we cannot apply it. So that's why I said, if in the case of the elision of Visarga, after that, if there is any possibility of any other sandhi rule, that is not at all applicable. Okay. Why it is not applicable? Again, we have to go into those details, but right now, I don't want to explain those details because, as I said earlier, it requires huge amount of time. So, minimum 2 hours are required. So, for the timing, you keep this rule in your mind that Visarga, if Visarga is elided, after that, if there is any possibility of some sandhi rule, that is not applicable. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, does here Visarga changes to ya also? Because somewhere I read it as Krishna Yeti.
No, madam. No.
Okay. Okay. So it's elided only.
Elided. Yeah. So, yes, there is another rule, that says that if a word ends with Visarga and it is preceded by a character belongs to each, and if it is followed by a word which starts with Ra, then Visarga will be elided and short vowels belongs to each will be elongated. So if we see the example, Harihi Rachayati. Harihi, the word Harihi ends with Visarga, which is being preceded by a character E belongs to each, right? E belongs to each. E, Gunu, Rilu, Evo, I, Au. And Visarga is being followed by a word Rachayati, starts with Ra, Repha. Then what happens? There is an elision of Visarga. This Visarga will be elided. Then this is the state. Hari Rachayati. After that, this E is there. Na? E will be replaced by the long E. Short vowel will become long vowels. So Hari Rachayati will become Hari Rachayati. Bhanuhu Rajate. Bhanuhu Rajate. Bhanuhu ends with Visarga, which is being preceded by Ukara, belongs to each, and it is being followed by a word Rajate, starts with Ra. The condition is satisfied. Then what happens? So, Visarga elision takes place. Then the form will be Bhanu Rajate. So here Bhanu ends with U, which is a short vowel. This will become long vowel. Then the final form will be Bhanu Rajate. So this is another condition. And there is the sandhi called Ukaradesha sandhi. What is this Ukaradesha? See, Visarga changes to U. When the word ends with Visarga, Ramaha, which ends with Visarga, and it is preceded by a character A. Ramaha ends with Visarga, which is being preceded by A. And it is followed by a word which starts with A, or a character belongs to Hash, Pratyahara, then Visarga changes to U. So Ramaha Api, the word Ramaha ends with Visarga being preceded by A, and it is being followed by a word Api, starts with A. Okay, so the condition is satisfied. Then what happens? This Visarga changes to Okara. Ramo. Here some other sandhi is applied. Then if you apply that sandhi, then the final form will be Ramopi. We have discussed this sandhi. And Balaha Hasati. Balaha Hasati. Balaha ends with Visarga, preceded by Akara, which is being preceded by Akara, and it is being followed by a word hasati, which starts with ha, that belongs to hush. Then what happens? This visarga will be replaced by okara. So balaha hasati will become balo hasati. Yes.
Why is there avagraha sign not there in the second one? Dirgha sign. Ramopi. And why it is only balo hasati?
Balo hasati. Ramopi. Ramaha api. Ramopi. So if you remember, we have discussed one rule, Purva Rupa Sandhi.
Yes.
So that's why Ramaha api, after this Rama u will become Ramo and api Ramopi.
Ramopi.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will type here. Can you see this thing?
No.
The chat box.
Is it in chat?
In the chat box. Yeah.
No, not yet.
You can see now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is there now.
Yeah. So Ramaha api, this visarga changes to u. Then there is a guna, Ramo api will become Ramopi. Balaha hasati, Balaha hasati, that visarga changes to u. Then guna will be applicable, Bala u, Balo hasati. So means Balo hasati. So there is no this avagraha symbol because you cannot apply Purva Rupa here. Clear?
Can I ask a question on the previous slide? If you can go to the previous one. Yeah, here, for example, before the visarga, if we already have a dirgha ukara, for example, vaduhu rajate. So in that case, would it become
It remains Vadhu Rajate only. Dirgha u remains Dirgha u only.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, excuse me, will this refakara apply in this case here? Hari rachayati, harihi rachayati, refakara. Refa desha, I mean refa desha.
Huh. See, that's why visarga harihi.
Hari e is coming there. Hari e is there, na? So that's why I'm asking whether the refa desha will apply here.
Huh, that's what. So because refa desha is applicable, but you have to see the other condition. If the word starts with ra, then the visarga will be elided, right?
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
One more question, sir. In shloka, sometimes in place of saha or yaha, they don't use that visarga. They simply say sa and ya only. Is there any rule for that?
Yes, some other rule is there. Yeah, in shlokas you use that thing. So in the context of hal, that visarga will be elided.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, any doubts?
Sir, I just wonder, see, I am using laptop here. I would like to use this, what I call Devanagari script while doing this typing in this keyboard, with the keyboard. Can you help me to incorporate those things in my laptop, please?
Which? Yes, madam. Yeah, madam.
Okay. So regarding this, let us have this question during the discussion session. I think Sanal Vikram also has prepared a manual where he has mentioned about these how to incorporate the dictionary. How to incorporate the Devanagari keyboard. Sanal, can you just tell us whether you have added that part or not?
Yes, ma'am.
You have added it.
Yeah,
okay.
I have added it for Windows machines.
Okay, fine.
How to enable Devanagari.
Okay, so
Yeah.
will you please share the URL for that?
Yeah, it is under the FAQ. It is
Yeah, I
already.
will.
It
No,
is
no,
already.
better. No, better you share the URL for everyone here.
Okay, okay, yeah, I will do that.
Yeah.
And is there something for Mac?
Presently, I don't know how to enable the keyboard in because I don't use Mac. So if anybody can help, I'll update that in the FAQ also.
I
Okay,
think.
Madam, Mac has already a built-in Sanskrit keyboard. Actually, I am using that one for Mac, where the characters are already mapped to actually a Hindi keyboard, and on the basis of that, the full mapping has been done.
Correct. You can actually
Yes.
enable a Sanskrit keyboard in Mac.
Yeah, right.
With the
Right.
keyboard viewer, you can see all the symbols and everything is there.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Mr. Pawan, yeah, madam, see, though I have enabled the Sanskrit keyboard in my laptop, I'm not able to get the character. Maybe we can share that FAQ or that manual. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. So already in chat, you have received this message. Okay.
No, it's not there, madam. URL is not there.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
Under manual, FAQ.
And here is another link which you can use. One participant has shared this link, ubcsanskrit.ca/keyboards.html. And we will add the information regarding Mac soon. Okay.
This link works for Macs as well.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you for the information.
Madam, will this support our KH keyboard and all while typing in KH? Will it support, this keyboard will support? Will it be similar to that, or it will have a different output while keying in?
And keyboard here you are the KH notation, Kyoto Hardware, is a notation which you are using to input to give the input in Roman.
Yeah.
Here what they are talking about is you are using the Roman keyboard, but directly what you get is Devanagari on the screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I want exactly. Thank you.
So this is, yeah, so these two links you can just go through these two links.
Yeah.
First one is for the Windows, and the second one, the UBC Sanskrit link, it works for Mac as well. This is the information which is shared by a participant just now.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam, if I can just share, for Windows, the software Lipikar works wonderfully well.
Okay.
If you can add that to the chat, I will try, but I don't know. The message will be to you, but this actually works very well only for Windows because they are saying that it is not mapped for.
Sir, is it Lipika?
Lipikar.
What exactly?
I have sent it to Amma Madam, so maybe she will be able to share.
Yeah.
software.
I will share it with everybody. Just give me 1 minute.
We can also share all of these on the LearnX discussion boards, right?
Yeah, exactly. We can share it there as well. Yeah. Now here I have a problem in copy paste. I don't know what happens. Okay, we will share all this information on LearnX discussion. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes. So any other doubts?
Madam, if you can spell that, whatever you have written, at least we can note down.
No, it's a long one, long URL. We will share it today itself. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. By today evening, we will share all this information in discussion forum on LearnX. And we will try to add it in the manual, the link which Sanal had shared a while ago. We'll add it there also. Yes.
Ma'am, a quick question for you. Ma'am. Did we have a self-assessment quiz this week? We didn't have.
Yeah.
No.
Good question. I was about to tell about it. Already for the Ach Sandhi, we have uploaded around 40 examples. So there is no self assessment for Sandhi. All these examples are already there with answers, so you can just practice them. Okay, it's not a quiz, but examples for practice are given. Today we will upload examples for Hal Sandhi also, and there will be a small quiz for Krut Pratyaya, which we will upload by today night. Okay.
So the examples this is coming separately. It is uploaded separately.
Yes, for Sandhi we have already uploaded several
three
examples.
Three PDFs are there.
Yeah, example PDF is there. That is, let me tell you where exactly it is. Just a minute. Under Sandhi, if you go to the Sandhi section, there are Yan Sandhi, Vowel Sandhi and Hal Sandhi. Vowel Sandhi part 2. If you go there, you have a video, presentation slides and examples for practice and summary sheet. Okay.
Madam, can you share that so that?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So you can see here under Sandhi, you have Yan Sandhi, which was covered on 22nd. Vowel Sandhi, sorry, part 2 was on 24th. Under this, you have video, presentation slides, examples for practice and summary sheet. If you go to examples for practice, then you will see several examples here, which you can practice yourself. The answers are also given. So you can practice these examples. Okay. You can either use the Sandhi tools or you can use your notes for Sandhi for practicing this. Okay. There are around 40 examples.
Yeah, ma'am, what we are seeing is your screen. I had a tough, I spent about 20 minutes trying to figure this out. So last time, so we are seeing your screen, which is an instructor screen. If you can share a student screen, that will be great. Because in student screen, we see it differently. We see it as different tabs.
Okay, just a minute. Let me share.
It took me about 20 minutes to figure this out.
No, just a minute. Let me show you. This is the student screen. You can see this, right? So yes. Here, if you go to Sandhi, then you have Yan Sandhi, Vowel Sandhi and Hal Sandhi. Go to Vowel Sandhi and here you see there are 4 links. The first one is video. The second one, if you go here, presentation slides, then you have examples for practice and then next is summary sheet. Okay. So the examples for practice is here. And again on mobile, you will have a different look. Okay. So those who are using mobile will have a different look, but you have here previous and next. So you can go to next and you get the next one. So you can use this previous and next also, which is at the bottom of this. I think this is what you see in mobile. The looks are a little different in mobile and on laptop. Okay. Yeah, so there are two raised hands. Let me stop sharing the screen and okay. So Swati Gharat.
Yeah, I want to ask about the Rama api becomes Ramopi and Punaha api becomes Punarapi. That way is there. So why it is like that?
See, the rule was in the case of Punaha, it is an avyaya. And therefore the rule is different.
Oh, okay, that is, and this is Ram and that is Avya. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Then next, Hadidi.
Yeah, I have some minor questions about the names for the Hal Sandhi. So sometimes we use at the end of the name like Shutva, Va, and sometimes we use Adesha. So what's the difference?
Pawan, can you answer this?
Yeah. Shutva, it's a combination of two things, right? Shakara and the entire Chavarga. So that's why we call it as Chutva. And in some cases, if a single substituent is there, we can call it as Sakaradesha or, Rephadesha like that. So in the case of Chutva, Shakara and the entire class belongs to Chavarga, right? So those are the substituents of either Sakara or Tavarga. Hence, we call it as Chutva.
Okay, thank you. And then I have the other question. Okay, what's the meaning of Tugagama? Tugagama.
Tugagama. Agama is an augment. It's not a substituent. We are inserting, we are adding. That's it. It will not change the form. With the help of that, you can change that. But you are simply adding that thing. Substituent means it will replace a phoneme. But in the case of augment, you have to add after that phoneme, any phoneme.
Okay, thank you. And but okay, and let me see. Okay, sorry. Okay, maybe somebody else can ask the question while I find the other.
Yeah. Yes. So, well, by the way, Pawan.
Yes.
Yeah. You will be here for some more time, or you have?
I have to, yeah.
You have to leave.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, thank you, Pawan. Yes. So, Chandru Sharma.
I have read that in Visarga Lopaha, Saha Yeshaha plus something also there is a Lopa. For the words Saha and Yeshaha, I don't remember exactly in which book I read this Lopa Sandhi. So is there anything like that only for Saha and Yeshaha there is an exception?
Okay. So today we do not have Malay, any other.
We can do this on Saturday also, madam.
Yeah, this Saturday we will do because we do not have other Vaiyakarana also today. He is not here. And Pawan had to leave because he has some other engagement just now.
No
at
issue.
7 o'clock.
No.
So he could not continue. Yeah, we will take up this question during the discussion.
Discussions, yes. Thank you.
So please send us your questions in advance. If Pawan is not there, we will get the answers from Pawan and then we will attempt to them.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Pi, DV Pi.
Yes, madam. My question is, see, I asked the same question. This Punaha Api, that when you add this Punaha Api, that Visarga Lopa happens and becomes Puna Api. Correct, no, madam?
It becomes Punarapi.
Okay, okay. If it is Punarapi, that is fine. That's my question. Okay, madam. I am
It is
answered.
Punarapi. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Shankari.
I have a doubt. I am now on the Samsadhani tool and I have opened Sandhi. And there, if I put, now if I say Krishnaha and Yeti and I say submit, it shows me it gives me two results. One of which is the split, which is the Visarga Lopa. Samhita Padam is what is given there. And then there is another option, which is Krishna Yeti, which is Ya, not Krishna and Yeti, but Krishna Yeti. But for both of them, today we learned Visarga Lopa. I see Rutva, Yatva, and Lopa, all the type of sandhis which are used one after the other. Are they the sandhis which are the sandhi rules which are used one after the other, right? Not just one. But I wanted to know, like I thought I could see Visarga Lopa here, which I don't. And there are two options. So which one should I understand is the correct type of a sandhi? Or I don't see the entire name of the sandhi here, which we have learned today.
Oh, okay, fine. So let me try to answer this question. Let me share my screen. Okay. So what you were asking is Krishna eti when you give as input, machine is showing two outputs. And Pawan, this question was asked today by somebody else, whether it is year, and Pawan said that this year is not possible. Okay. Now let me try to try to see why my machine is giving this.
Yes, ma'am, I had asked it.
Yeah. So Pawan said that there is something wrong here. So I will have to figure out what is the problem with this. I will discuss with him, and then if anything is wrong, we will make the corrections. Now, the other question which you have asked is, there are three things, Rutva, Yatva, and Lopa, which machine is showing here. Whereas Pawan had given only a single rule, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is again your question. So again, I need Pawan's help for this. But let me tell you something else. How do we understand these sequence of sandhis? So I'm going to take an example which is given here, Lakshmi 1 and Shubha Lakshanaha. And when I ask for the sandhid form, machine shows me 4 different forms. So what is happening here in all these 4 different forms is, there are some rules which are optional. So when they are optional, then either the substitution will take place or it may not take place. So accordingly, there are different sandhid forms. So in the first case, what has happened is, first there is a Tugagama, the insertion is there, and then there is a Shchutva, then it changes to Chartva, and then there is an insertion of Cha, and then there is a Lopa. So one of these, the Cha, the changing to Cha gets deleted and you have only Nya and Cha. Whereas here there is no Lopa. So you see Nya, Cha and Cha, all the 3. Here that Cha Shashchoti, this sutra, which was optional, is not applied, and this sha remains sha, but there is a tugagama and shchutva and chartva should be there. And in this case, there is no tugagama, so this cha you don't see here, and you have only nakara changing to nyakara. Okay, so the order in which these sutras are applied, these are given here in the same order, and under this sandhi, the popular names or the short names of these sandhis are given, and here actual sutras are given. Okay, regarding the visarga sandhi, the example which you have asked for, I will discuss with Pawan and get back to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Dhanyavada.
Manjiri Patke.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in morph analyzer, I was looking for the uvacha word, and it shows only the vacha dhatu's forms. But uvacha is also a form of bru dhatu. It doesn't show bru dhatu.
Okay, this bru and vach, these are actually the, so let us go to the, just a minute. Let me go to this concordance. Now, why bru is not there? Yeah, even. Okay, so let me search here. Brui, Vaktayam Vachi, and here, I don't know whether this link works. Wait just a minute. I will have to go to this. Yes. So here bru and uvacha is there, and the question is now why there for vach only vach answer is given and why bru is not given. Actually, it should have given both. Is there any bru and vach? They have same forms in some of these cases. I think it is because of that.
Okay.
Let me just check. Vacha paribhashane. Yes, vacha. It gets an adesha of bru gets adesha of vach. Okay, and therefore the forms are same in some of these lakaras. Okay, so in order to avoid the duplication, we in the output in the analysis only one is shown, the other one is not shown. Okay.
Okay. So bru gets the adesh of vacha in all lakaras?
No, in some lakaras.
Okay.
Two changes to vach.
Just like asudhatu becomes
yes, asabhuvi. Yeah, as changes to bhu. Similarly, here also.
Like that.
Yes.
It's bruvo vachihi is a rule which substitutes brun with vach.
Oh, thank you, Arjun. Thank you. So just as us changes to brew and vach, there is this substitution in some of the lakaras. And in such cases, since there is no distinction between the two verbs, we display only one of them, not the other one.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, one more question was there. I came across a word dwari, which is the Saptami Ekvachan of Dwara, which is Strilinga Pratipadika, Refanta. So that is not being shown here in Namarupa Nishpadika. I was trying.
No, Namarupa Nishpadika, you want the Saptami Ekavachan of Dwara, right?
No, sorry. I came across the word Dwari and I was searching its form, okay, what form it is. Dwari.
Okay. So you want to know its analysis, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Dwari is Rasva, short.
Yes, Rasva.
Dwari, I don't know, this word is not analyzed.
Yes. I couldn't see that because I came across my text.
Maybe you can send us the text and we will see what is the...
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So how do I send you?
Send an email to me or in the chat box.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please go, sir.
Dwari is a locative of Dwar, which is an ancient form of Dwara. Okay. So if you look at my system.
Okay. Thank you very much. So would you like to share your screen or shall I?
Yeah. Please have my.
Yeah, you can share your screen. Okay. So is it a rare form?
Yes, it's a rare Pratipadikam, Dwar.
Oh, okay.
So here it is, see? Dwari is a locative, feminine singular of Dwar.
Okay.
And Dwar is some kind of Vedic form of Dwara. Okay, so Dwara is more usual in classical Sanskrit.
Okay.
So you will find the original Dwar mostly in Vedic forms, I think.
I see.
And with this Dwar, you have the problem that you have a special Sandhi because it's ended with Refa.
Okay. So it's a Vedic forms, not very commonly used.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Dwari.
Okay, thank you, Gerard.
Welcome.
And yes, any other question is there, Manjari?
No, ma'am, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Hadidi, again, you are back. So,
yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first question is when you were reviewing in the summary of the Ach Sandhi, you gave the complete form of the sutras, Panini sutras, with the Anuvriti. So where can one find these complete forms of the sutras?
In Siddhanta Kaumudi.
Oh, so it's mentioned the full form of the...
Yes. In Siddhanta Kaumudi, there is one Sandhi Prakarana, one full chapter on Sandhi, and there they mention the full forms.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, madam, you can check in ashadhyayi.com also.
Yes, that's available in ashtadhyayi.com.
Yes.
I'm sorry, can you put the link for that in the chat?
Yeah, sure. There is a website. Let me add this. ashtadhyayi.com. If you go to this website, you will get the lot of information on Ashtadhyayi, Siddhanta Kaumudi. The sutras you can see from various angles.
You can check on Sutra Pada. You can check under Sutra Pada.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and then the other question I had is in the Hal Sandhi, what is the reason for the name or the origin of the name Purva Savarna, or what does it mean in that context?
Purva Savarna. Okay, Purva Savarna is something which is homogeneous to the previous one.
Okay. Okay, so where are we using homogeneous? Okay, and maybe we can discuss that in the discussion session.
Yeah, during discussion we can, yes,
okay,
sure.
Okay, okay, okay.
Because
That's
I will
it.
have
Thank you.
to locate those slides. Right
Yes.
now I don't have those slides with me, Pawan's slides with me, sorry. So.
Okay, okay, thank you.
But what I would suggest you is if you can send us these questions in advance where we need to look at the slides, etc., we will be ready for that. Okay.
Okay, okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Or we can have it during the in the discussion in LearnX forum as well. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Next one is Chinna.
Good evening, madam. This is Rao only. We have so many dhatus are there in the drop down, but there is no meaning, madam. English meaning we are not able to go to dictionary to understand the meaning of the particular dhatu.
See, there are all these 2000 dhatus which are given in the dhatu vrittis in the concordance which you saw on our website. Now we have links. We have linked these dhatus to the entries in the dictionary, but dictionary may not have the meanings for each one of them. So only those where the meaning is there, you will get the entry from the dictionary. If it is not there, you will not get. Okay.
No, but it's not. It's
So
only
as of
taking
now, for all the
it is only taking to Amarkosa. It is not taking to any other dictionary. That is, I tried one or two dhatus only.
but, sir, just a minute. For dhatus, you will not get any entry in Amarkosha. Okay. Yeah. So you send me those, or you can since you are our student, you can directly come to me and I will explain those things. Okay. If you have any problems, but just remember that Amarkosha gives only entries for nouns. It is a Nama Linganu Shasana.
That is true, madam. What I am telling, when I am trying to go over dictionary, it is taking to Amarkosa. It is not opening to other dictionaries. That is it.
No, other dictionary entries. Okay, you can contact me and I will tell you how to open it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Smriti Shri.
Yeah, namaste, ma'am. So I had this doubt from the last class because there was this example Vangmayam. Okay, when I typed it in Sandhi in Samsadani, so there was this split called it is actually had the Tadita Pada Vach plus Mayat.
Yes.
Okay, but actually when I typed Vach and Mayat in the Sandhi tool, Vach as the first padam and Mayat as the second padam, I got different word like Vaj Mayat. I got a word called Vaj Mayat.
So
when
just a minute. Let me explain. See, last time we had explained that this Sandhi tool, which you see, is for the Sandhi between two padas. Okay. Mayat is not a pada, it is a suffix. And Vach is also not a pada, it is a pratipadikam. So Vach and Mayat, if you give to our Sandhi tool, it will give wrong result. So this is that's why there is one. If you look at just 1 minute, let me share my screen. If you look at this Sandhi tool, here you see Sandhi iti upakaranam upayoktum dhyatavyaha anshaha drushyantam. This is, so it says that please look at, if you are interested in using this tool, then the points that you should remember are here. And in the previous class, I had explained what are these 4 points. Essentially, what it says is this tool can be used only for the sandhi between 2 padas, not the internal sandhi. Vangmayam is an internal sandhi that takes place when you are deriving a taddhita form. These taddhita suffixes, again, we have not covered. Mayat is a taddhita suffix. When this is added to vach, then there are certain operations that are to be performed and you get vangmaya. So that cha changes to etc. This is called the internal sandhi. It is sandhi within the formation of a word. Vangmaya is one word. Vach and mayat are not words, and therefore you will not get that.
But when I actually clicked watch, there was a table coming. Okay, then in that I could find this Vangmaya word there. Watch and Mayat together, in Pullinga it was forming Vangmaya.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you, that this is a taddhita form, and in taddhita generation you will get this. So when you go to taddhita rupa nishpadika and you give vach to it, then it will generate vangmaya.
Okay, so if I have to put some word, it should be like vak plus mayam. If I'm giving it, it will be giving vangmayam.
Vach is a pratipadikam.
No. Now if I have to get the word vangmayam, yeah, I tried it now. It came actually vak plus mayam. It is coming vangmayam.
See, again, I'm telling you, machine may give here vak and mayam, vangmaya, but this sandhi tool which you are using is not meant for that. So sometimes you may get it by hook or crook or by chance, but it doesn't mean that what it is giving is correct. So if you give padas, then it will give the correct result. If you do not give padas, it may give results or it may not give results, or it may give wrong results also. So this is to be used only if these 2 are padas. Okay. Well, when
vak and mayam is not a pada. Vak and mayam.
No. Okay. Mayam is not a pada. It's a suffix.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Are there any other questions?
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes.
Just Professor Gerard had just shown me the Dwari's analysis on using Sansadhani. Can I know how did he search on Sansadhani, Dwari word?
No, I didn't get.
No, using
for Sansadhani, I didn't get Dwari. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was not on
So in
Sansadhani.
Sansadhani, I don't get, but in Gerard Hewitt's engine, you get the analysis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Smriti?
I saw Dwari in the morph analyzer. When I put in Dwari, I get Dwarin with Pratipadikam and Dwari also. So I think you can get it.
In morph analyzer?
In the morphological analyzer.
See, madam,
Pada Vishleshika.
Shankari, madam,
yes, ma'am.
She had asked for Dwari, which is Rasva, not Dirgha. Okay?
I see. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I think all questions are answered, and now, so with all these days we were looking at the generation process. We saw morphological generator, we also saw morphological analyzer and the Sandhi tool. And now all of you are curious to know how we can invert the Sandhi. You have seen all these Sandhi rules and machine generates a Sandhi form. But actually when you are reading any text, what you need is not the joining operation, but how to break the Sandhi and how to get the 2 or 3 words from the conjoined words. So for this, there is a very good tool which is developed by Professor Gerard Huet. He has several other tools also on his heritage platform. So we will be looking at his platform, the heritage platform, from next Wednesday onwards. So next week and maybe another week, he will be demonstrating his tools, which you can now use for understanding or analysis purpose. So with this note, I think I will stop here. And Gerard, so from Wednesday onwards, you will be leading us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
See you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.